Hi, I'm Raviv Wolf, co-founder and CEO of Argon. Argon, welcome home. After an exclusive local and national search, we are proud to call Chicago our new home. In just one short year, we've grown from 3 employees to 15 and 30 since moving to Chicago. We will reach 60 employees by month end and 180 within the next year. Argon is a data company specializing in credit and risk analytics. By combining artificial intelligence and big data, Argon's platform is capable of serving products throughout the entire credit spectrum, providing a clear analysis of the true risks. Our passion is big data, our mission to make liquidity in the credit markets elemental. With its central location and booming tech scene, Chicago is an ideal place to build the world's most sophisticated, multi-dimensional credit risk analyst platform. Join me in welcoming the President and CEO of the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce, Theresa E. Mintel.
Thank you. Welcome and congratulations to Raviv and Gary and your whole team. According to our member surveys at the Chamber, you've actually joined some really great company. Our small businesses, over 75% of them, are planning to grow in the next year. The mid-market, over 70% of them, are also planning to grow. So you have joined a nice group of people who are making Chicago not only their home, but planning to grow and grow exponentially in the coming year, year and a half. I would like to talk a little bit about why Chicago is such a great place. I've got 4 reasons. Number 1, because of folks like you who have made this the most burgeoning and blossoming tech community in the Midwest and in fact the country. Since 2014, 155 companies were launched in Chicago. That's tech companies were launched in Chicago worth $1.6 billion. It's a 50% increase over the previous year. That's pretty significant for us. Renowned business hubs like 1871, UI Labs also make this a great place to be, and we're glad that you're going to be part of that ecosystem. Number 2, I don't know if you've heard about it, but we are America's urban campus. There are 145,000 college and university degrees conferred annually by more than 150 institutions here in the city of Chicago. That means there's amazing talent right out your front door. Number 3, Chicago is the international business hub of the Midwest. There's over $720 billion worth of economic activity coming out of Chicago going global. It's an amazing place for global commerce. We're thrilled to be able to say that you'll be part of that group that is making a huge difference not only in Chicago, the Midwest, but actually globally. And number 4, and I know this from experience working with Mayor Emanuel, Chicago is indeed the city that works. There is no other place in America that works the way that Chicago does. And it's not only because of the talent that we have here, but because of corporate and civic leaders like Raviv and those who call Chicago home. So I want to welcome all of you. You're joining an amazing civic community here in Chicago. And we look forward to seeing all of you, not only at things like Lollapalooza and the NFL Draft, which will be coming back next year, I hope, but also just enjoying Chicago for what it has to offer, because this really is one of the most amazing places on the planet. Thank you.
I'm Gary Zumsky, co-founder and CRO at Argon Credit.
Good morning. Let me first of all say what a pleasure it is to be here. For those of you who may not be familiar with World Business Chicago, we're a public-private economic development organization that works very closely with some of our partners, such as the Chicagoland Chamber of Commerce. We are also chaired by Mayor Rahm Emanuel. So first off, I would like to say on behalf of my boss and the mayor, thank you. Thank you for making the investment and the decision to locate in Chicago. Welcome. I think it was a wise choice, and I think you're going to have a really successful run here at the current facility. And on the way over in the cab, I was just thinking back. I've been involved in economic development here for about 25 years, and most of the last 15 years I've been with World Business Chicago. And I was just kind of thinking back that when World Business Chicago was formed, there was an article that came out in The Economist called Chicago Blues. And it was a really scathing article. It was kind of said, Chicago's, heyday is kind of come and gone. And yeah, there's some big established, well-known consumer products and names here, but really, the city is losing out to some of the other cities like Austin and places like that in terms of new capital and entrepreneurial activity. And so I take a lot of satisfaction when I look back on sort of those days 15 years ago now, I believe the article was. And I stand before a group like this, a company that's gone from 3 to 30, and a company that's got some pretty good estimates for some additional growth, I get a lot of satisfaction. It's something that shouldn't be surprising. We always knew that the city offered a lot of advantages for companies such as Argon. As Theresa mentioned, human capital, access to markets, and just an overall vibrancy I think that people want today in their location. But nonetheless, there's been a lot of announcements of late. We've had Heinz Kraft, ConAgra, and some others, but I even get a little additional satisfaction when I talk to a company such as this, because a lot of those companies are valuable members of the business community and they're well-established consumer products, but at the same time it's going to be companies such as Argon that are really going to be the future ConAgras. And I sometimes look at Chicago as a forest, and I appreciate the beautiful old growth trees, but if there aren't some new seedlings and some up-and-comers, you really don't have a healthy environment. So once again, thanks for having me here, and best wishes for continued success. Thank you.
Well, thanks for everyone for joining us today. I'd like to welcome all of you to our official ribbon cutting ceremony. If you guys would like to join us over here. I guess so, yeah.